Anjali has recently cracked a job at NatWest, aka Royal Bank of Scotland.
Initially, I used to think that coding is not my cup of tea. Apart from the daily teaching hours, also, she used to invest time in us and she used to guide us like an elder sister.
Hello everyone, welcome back to this another iteration of success stories at Coding Blocks. And today we have got Anjali from VIT Vellore, who is also supposed to be a final year graduate student. How are you, Anjali? How are you doing?
Hi, all. I'm doing good.
Perfect. So, to give you a more intro about Anjali, Anjali has recently cracked a job at NatWest, aka Royal Bank of Scotland. So, Anjali, can you please tell, how did you, manage to land up in this job and what all were your experiences?
Okay. So, first of all, I'll brief about my BTech. So, I did my college from Vellore Institute of Technology and I pursued computer science. And I started coding in first year. And by taking help of coding blocks and my mentor, Mosina Ma'am, who helped me, I cracked the interview of NatWest and I landed up here.
Perfect. So, to begin with this interview, can you please tell us, like, when did you start your coding journey actually? What was your motivation behind it?
Yeah. So, starting with when I started coding, it was I started with coding with Python in first year, but I had very basic knowledge about it. And after the lockdown started, that was in second year of my BTech, I started coding properly. Like initially, I used to think that coding is not my cup of tea, but I came to know about coding blocks from a friend of mine who already enrolled himself over there. He told me about it and I got myself enrolled over there. And by the start of second year of my BTech, I started coding with Mosina Ma'am and she kept me motivating. And initially, like I used to code around 1 or 2 hours a day. But by the end of second year, she indulged in me so much confidence. And I used to, like, I remember the time by the end of second year, I used to code like 7 to 8 hours on a daily basis. So that was the time that I started coding actually.
Great. So, how was your overall experience with the batch and the teaching pedagogy which we follow here at Coding Blogs?
Yeah. So as I told that initially I used to think that coding is not my cup of tea, but by interacting with such a fabulous teacher, Mosina Ma'am at Coding Blogs, I got interest in coding. And in the very start of the placement sessions from VIT Vellore, I cracked almost 2 companies. And that was it. Like the coding practices, the teaching methods, it is so easy and it is so pretty understandable for each and every student. Basically talking about Mosina Ma'am, she used to motivate us. She used to tell us that even if you are stuck with the slightest of the problems, even if you have small doubts, you can call me up at any time. And she used to clarify it. Apart from the daily teaching hours also, she used to invest time in us and she used to guide us like an elder sister. So it was all because of her that I got placed.
Perfect. So all in all, Anjali, it seems like it was a very tough journey, beginning with the coding, and you have mentioned that coding was not your cup of tea. So what was this one thing, or I would say, what was all the things which kept you motivated throughout this journey?
Yeah. So while I used to solve the questions initially, I used to get stuck with even the simplest of the simplest questions. I used to see my rank on the leaderboard of the platform of HackerBlock, which is a platform which Coding Blocks has adopted. So when I started coding, I used to see my rank. It was 23rd on the leaderboard. And from there, I made it up to top 5. By getting motivational sessions, not only from the teaching sessions, apart from the teaching hours, Mosina Ma'am used to motivate us. Her way of teaching was just fabulous. And she always guided us like an elder sister. For the questions that I used to get stuck with, I used to directly call her So basically, whenever I used to get demotivated after not being able to solve any question, I used to take help of my mentor. And like initially, I used to think that if a certain question I'm not being able to solve, I used to take help from the net also, because as we know, we have entered in the 21st century. So every question has its solution on internet. So I used to take help from the internet also, and I used to take help from Mosina Ma'am also. So talking about my personal experience, like there was a topic of recursion in C++ where I used to get stuck a lot. Like till recursion, I used to cope up a lot, but recursion was a topic at that time I used to think that I'm going to just give up on coding. But she motivated me. She kept on guiding me. There was nearly 20 to 25 questions that she personally explained me on call apart from the teaching hours. So these all things motivated me a lot.
Great. I mean, like, this sounds so interesting. You just mentioned you use the internet as well for all your preparations, right? So can you please, highlight what all resources you used throughout this journey apart from coding blogs?
Yeah. So apart from coding blogs, we also have on internet, we have the sites of hacker blogs where the mentors, not only our mentor, every other mentor also, if we put up a question regarding coding, if we are stuck with some questions, time complexity, space complexity and all, if we get stuck even with the basic of the basic questions, we can post it up on the platform of the coding blogs, and the other mentors are also available 24/7 to guide us. They'll code and they'll rectify our errors in the code and they'll give it up like that. So that was apart from Mosina Ma'am, apart from the help that I took from internet.
Great. Anjali, can you please tell us, like, what do you think are the important topics which are very much essential for technical interviews?
Yeah. So talking about the technical skills that we need to crack any interview. So basically everybody asks to code in technical interviews. So in that, the approach matters. Like even if we are not able to solve completely within a specific time complexity or within a specific space complexity, and even if the whole problem is not solved, the idea that we are putting up in the interview, that matters. Because I have not faced any interview in which the interviewer is not willing to help us. The interviewer just wants to see how hard we are trying and how easily we are able to adapt solving problems by taking his help. So that is one of the things that we need to take care in the technical interview. And talking about the specific areas that we need to highlight upon ourselves is OOPS. OOPS is the main part of technical interviews, because I have been sitting for 3 to 4 interviews, and each and every interviewer asked me about OOPS and its basic principles and the basic terminologies and the basic concepts of data structures and algorithm. That needs to be very clear cut in our mind, like each and every concept, whether it be stack or linked list or queues, or how they work, in which manner they work. Apart from the code that we write about it, the ideas, the way which we solve, those all also matter. So these are the main points that we need to keep in mind for cracking any technical interview.
Perfect. So hopping on to the next question, I'm like, this can act up as a very much essential, guidance to your juniors and to all the people who are watching this interview. What you feel like should be a perfect strategy for DSA preparation?
Yeah. So talking about that, like a solid understanding of data structures and algorithms is very crucial for programming, to enhance the problem solving in computer science. So on the other hand, interviewers often ask DSA questions to evaluate, and the main aim is like after cracking the technical round, the interviewers basically highlight on data structures. Since we are coming after 4 years of BTech, they don't expect much, but they expect us to be very clear about data structures and algorithms. So in solving data structures, there are certain strategies that we have to keep in mind. So the first one is developing long-term motivation. So we need to keep ourselves motivated. The second one is understanding data structures and algorithms. So the basic algorithms and all the fundamentals of programming needs to be very clear for solving any data structures. Then we have to move into the concepts of data structures. So before delving into data structures, we need to keep ourselves ready with sorting and searching algorithms. Then we have to keep ourselves very thorough about arrays and all. And then we have to move towards the different types of data structures, which is categorized as linear data structures and the non-linear data structures. So we initially start with stacks, queues, then we move into trees and all, binary trees, and then we move on to recursion and then other things. So and then the last topic is DP. So that is also very important for data structures. And one more thing that we have to keep in mind while solving data structures is we have to keep a thorough concept about it and the strategy in which the specific data structure works and the codes. And then we have to make sure that if we are starting with topic, if suppose we are starting with linked list, so we need to make sure how the linked list works, how the code is written, the basic codes, and then we have to keep ourselves motivated, and we have to make sure that on each topic there are a minimum of 5 to 7 questions that we solve from each and every data structures topic individually. So yeah, that is the main data structure solving.
Got it. Also, Anjali, can you please tell us what used to be your thought process behind selecting the questions to practice?
So talking about my experience, when I came into coding blocks, I had no idea how much questions should I solve in order to crack any interview and all. So I just blindly followed Mosina Ma'am's guidance, and she told me that if you're going to solve hacker blocks questions, that is going to be more than sufficient to crack any of the interviews, whether it be like FANG interviews or FANG companies also. They also ask only the questions that we deal with on hacker blocks, that would be more than sufficient to crack any of the interviews. So I used to, the notes that she used to give in class, I used to note it down, I used to mug it up, I used to understand it, and I used to code it on my PC, and then I used to write the whole code on my pen and paper. I used to mug up all the concepts, and then I used to solve each and every question of hacker blocks. So I started, when I started, I was on the 23rd rank on leaderboard, but I solved each and every questions of each and every topic by taking help of Mosina Ma'am. And that was more than enough to crack any of the interviews that I faced.
Got it. So I mean, overall, is there any specific sort of, guidance or any key which you would like to give to your fellow batchmates or your juniors or the audience, YouTube audience, whomsoever will be seeing this thing to, excel into technical interviews as such, if there's any sort of guidance you want to give?
I just want to tell that we just need to be thorough with our basic concepts. The interviewers don't need any experts in any field. We need to make ourselves very comfortable with the interviewer, and we have to keep confident. We have to show confidence in front of him that we know each and every topic, and we have to be very thorough with our basic concepts. I think that is the key to crack any of the interviews.
Great. So by any chance, have you ever got to know about the culture there at NatWest or the Royal Bank of Scotland? Can you please enlighten, how is the work culture there?
Yeah. So I'm about to join NatWest. So I got a full-time offer from NatWest, and NatWest is basically a UK-based bank, and it provides a full range of banking and insurance services to personal, business, and commercial customers, including the first dedicated bank account in Britain. Okay. So the CEO is Alison Rose, and initially, recently, I have attended one of the events that was held. That was a welcome event. So I got to know a bit about the culture over there and about the whole procedure. How am I going to start over there? So my journey is going to start on 24th of July. So which would be lined up with 2 months. I have to take an training period would be there. And after that, based on the performances in that training, we would be assigned to certain teams and all under some managers. And based on our performances, after every 8 months, we would be shifted to one or the other team. So we would be asked to choose our specific domain of our interest, and then we can align ourselves in that. And talking about the people over there, the people over there are very cooperative. As I got to know from that event, they were very helpful, and so that's the start.
Great.
Since I haven't joined it yet, so I haven't much.
I mean, like, they sound so satisfying. Hopping on to the just last question. Overall, how was your total experience here at Coding Blocks? Let's say if I would have to ask you to give us a certain rating on a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, what would be the honest feedback to it?
Basically, like the mentors over in Coding Blocks, I personally would suggest each and every student who is pursuing computer science to join Hacker Blocks. It gave me so much of confidence. The mentors over there, their training sessions, their platform, each and everything helped me so much to crack the interviews that me being a coder who used to not being able to solve even the simplest of the questions, I have boosted up my confidence now up to such a level that I can even if the hardest of the hardest questions are put in front of me, I would give it a try. So that was all because of Coding Blocks and their mentors over there. So I would personally suggest everybody to just go over the site, take a look, and try to solve the questions of Hacker Blocks. Yeah.
Great. It was great to have you, Anjali, on over this session, or let's say a talk over your placement strategy. We wish you all the very best for your future, and we just hope, by any chance, if you get some time to hop over our centers here in Delhi, we would definitely love to meet you in person. Until then, thank you so much. Bye bye and good luck. Good evening. Bye bye.
Thank you.